Good morning. We are the group Team Payaman Girls, and today we're going to discuss about health promotion and wellness promotion sa workplace settings. So we're going to start with the history muna. Okay, so as you can see, merong 1970 hanggang sa 21st century. And i-discuss ko muna yung mula sa 1970s. So, during the 1970s, nag-start sila mag-historical review ng health promotions. Because during this time, nag-create yung group of employees ng fitness programs na ang target lang ay yung executives ng company, which was then expanded to the entire workforce nung na-realize nila yung benefits. This time din, imbis na mag-focus sila only on fitness, ginawa na nilang wellness focus yung programs. So in the mid-1980s naman, a fitness program typically may kasamang physical examination para ma-identify nila yung mga leaders na at high risk for cardiovascular diseases, which back then was a leading cause of premature death. However, hindi naman nila kayang magbigay ng complete physical examination sa buong workforce. So ang ginawa ng employers and service providers, nag-develop sila ng minimal intensity interventions like self-help or web-based programs and campaigns and policies. Sa 1990s naman, there was an unprecedented growth ng workplace health promotion. Mas malaking funds yung nabibigay sa researchers ng health promotion. Dahil dito, madaming employers ang nakarealize na yung social and physical environment ay may direct and indirect effects sa organizational health. Nagsimula rin sila mag-experiment ng strategies dito. Naglagay sila ng healthy food options sa mga cafeteria and vending machines, nagdagdag ng discount sa mga low-fat foods, and nag-develop din ng nutrition education programs. Sa 21st century naman, may mga bagong trends na nag-appear. First trend is nag-increase yung recognition sa comprehensive workplace health promotion program, which involves offering health education programs, supportive social and physical environment, health screenings with appropriate education, follow-up and treatment, administrative supports including staffing and budget, and linkages with other related programming such as safety, employee assistance programs, and other benefits. Second trend naman is nag-increase din yung efforts to both protect and help and promote health ng workers. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health launched Total Worker Health Program na nagpo-provide ng support sa research and advocacy na related sa pag-integrate ng occupational safety and health protection with health promotion. Third trend naman is nagkaroon ng demand for accountability ng employers sa results ng health promotion and protection efforts. Sa evaluators ng programs naman, kailangan na nila maging specific sa value na maipo-provide ng program. Nagkaroon din ng bagong metrics para makatulong mag-uncover ng unstudied benefits ng programs like employee well-being, vitality, productivity, satisfaction, and retention or turnover. Nagkaroon din ng value-based benefits. Basically, gumagamit 'to ng incentives para ma-encourage yung worker na mag-complete, for example, ng health risk assessment, gano'n. Kung kunwari sa situation ko, parang magbibigay ako ng candy sa kapatid ko para kuhanin yung charger sa kwarto ko, gano'n. These incentives work to increase participation but not necessarily to change behavior in the long run. So, next tayo.
So, hello, ito po yung workplace success story. So, to prove na yung ating workplace settings ay successful setting siya para magawa ng wellness and health promotion is yung based to sa book which is ito yung nakita namin which is yung workplace health promotion at Lincoln Industry. It is a comprehensive programming at a small to medium-sized employers. So, ang nangyari kasi dito, yung US Chamber of Commerce and Partnership, um, uh, they were united para i-share yung employer success story about sa kanilang improvement sa health and productivity. So they use the Lincoln Industry. So si Lincoln Industry is medium size manufacturing siya kasi ito ay because it has positive outcomes and meron din siyang mga trends na nag-exemplify. So um um, it is located in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it has 450 employees. Then, may belief yung company kasi, di ba? From this, yung belief nila is wellness and healthy lifestyle are important to our success. So, from this, di ba, nakita natin na yung company talaga is nag-strive sila ng wellness and healthy lifestyle based naman dun sa kanilang perception. So the program vision is they want to encompass the body, soul, and spirit. So basically pagkakaintindi ko dito is holistic po, 'di ba? Kasi body, soul, and spirit yung ano nila. So they support their people sa pagiging smarter nila and magkaroon sila ng healthier lifestyle. Then, ine-encourage nila, ito po yung vision nila, yung mga sinasabi ko. Yung ine-encourage po nila is yung nagkaroon ng balance sa work, sa home, and personal goals. Then, they believe that people are important assets sa kanilang company. Kaya nakita natin dito, it is successful. So, result nito is they receive several national wellness program awards. Then, yung healthcare nila is naging 50% below the national average. Then, yung working compensation cost is less than 1% of the payroll. So, yung CEO nga nila, sabi nila is, um, uh, yung kanilang, it was their source and of pride and reflection of how they care for each other. Yung kanilang wellness. Yung wellness nila is yun yung pinaka-critical element nila for their success. So, yun po yung workplace success stories po. So, next po.
Sa the future of workplace health promotion. So under nito yung the changing landscape. The future of workplace health promotion programs must take into consideration several important changes within the US population. So first is the overall population is aging. Kasi halos lahat ay nagtatrabaho mga tao and pwede rin magkaroon ng implications sa mga older Americans because they will remain in the workforce past the traditional retirement age. For example, is chronic disease incidence increases with age. So, kailangan may new strategies na para mai-address yung chronic disease in the face of the aging workforce. Second naman ay mas malaking population of working women kaysa sa mga lalaki in the United States and of working women with children are increasing. And lastly, there is an increase in the prevalence of non-white workers. So, second naman is changes in the United States labor force and population in 1990 to 2020. So according to Bureau of Labor Statistics 2013, yung Hispanic workers are expected to be largest source of new workers in the United States in 2022. According to national estimates, United States workers are now considered contingent. So, yung contingent kasi, ibig sabihin nun ay yung hindi sila full-time work, temporary lang yung uh, wino-work nila and na-experience nila yung mga job instability, lower pay, experience higher poverty rates, and lack health insurance at higher risk of experiencing health problems and take it challenging to reach them with workplace health programming. So next naman is the passage of the Affordable Care Act in 2010. So it is also changing the landscape of workplace health promotion. So in 2014, the average annual health plan covering a family As a result of this high cost, fewer employers offer health insurance and employees have less access to healthcare, including both treatment and preventive services. So with the passage of the ACA, millions of previously uninsured Americans gain access to affordable healthcare via private healthcare exchanges. So, in March 2015 naman, more Americans gain coverage, more individuals have access to free preventive services such as colonoscopy screening, pap smears, mammograms, well shot visits, and flu shots. So the uh, Affordable Care Act via Medicaid expansions and subsidies to employers has also led to increased access to insurance among low-wage workers and employers working in smaller workplaces. So, better access to care improves the health of everyone. Yet, the role of employer and sponsored health insurance and health promotion services is likely to change. Employees relied heavily on their health insurance providers for the health promotion and disease management programs offered to their employees. So next naman is selecting, designing, and implementing workplace health promotion initiatives, challenges, and opportunities. So several features are important when choosing or designing a workplace health promotion initiative. One problem with choosing evidence-based program is that pra- practitioners do not always have access to recent research findings. Thus, forming strategic increase information, sharing about research results between employers of all sizes, voluntary federal or state and local health departments, and researchers could facilitate getting evidence workplace health research of social ecological framework. So, na to, nakapaloob dito yung mga components ng isang health program. Yung workplace health promotion, nire-recognize yung work environment, nire-recognize yung environment, and ine-ensure na lahat ng employee ay health and safety. Nagkakaroon dito ng problem sa work environment tulad ng workplace, work demands, exposure ng employees sa violence, harassment, discrimination, noise na pwede makaharm sa mga employees, so, yung mga social ecological framework gagamitin nila for intervention, including, next slide po. Next slide. So, itong social ecological framework, ito yung gagamitin nila for intervention, including interpersonal, like self-help or peer support, organizational, ito yung katulad ng mga campaign sa buong workplace, community, ito yung mga referrals or discounts for employees who join YMCA, and policy levels, ito naman yung mga regulation about smoke-free spaces na pwede makatulong sa pagbabago ng health sa work and pati rin sa community. Yung health educators, pwede rin pumili ng 5 levels of intervention sa social ecological framework and pwede mag-guide sa napiling intervention para sa strategies at each level. So, yung future workplace health and safety program mas nagiging environmentally and ecological conscious towards sustainability para sa organization and sa buong mundo. Yun lang.
So, for career opportunities, merong nakalist dyan na 5. And obviously, hindi lang naman sa iisang field galing yung mga professionals na nag-health promotion. So, una dyan is vendors. Involved sila, um, employed by vendors. Ang Ang ginagawa ng mga professionals diyan, involved sila sa program development, sales, customer relations, or evaluation. So more on sales nga sila dahil sa vendor sila nagtatrabaho. Second is government agencies naman, managing or offering programming for their employees or constituents. Yung pangatlo is research centers, obviously for research sila about health promotion and wellness. Pang-apat is voluntary health agencies. Yung mga health promotion professionals dito, pwede silang mag-work in a local, state, regional, or national level. One example ng org na ganito is Red Cross. Pwede silang i-hire para sa mga program in a local, state, regional, or national level. So, fifth naman is university-based research team. Nagma-manage or nagde-deliver sila ng mga workplace health promotion programs. One example nito is kapag sponsor yung school or yung university ng isang club. So, ang nangyayari dun, nag-i-implement ng programs yung research team ng university dun sa club. Ganun. So, next po.
Base kay Furtman, sa workplace setting daw, dumadami na daw yung mga available na resources para matulungan yung mga gustong mag-plan, implement, and evaluate ng health promotion program nila. Um, ito yung mga list ng resources and tools na develop siya in the past 25 years ago daw in order to address wide range of health issues and problems. So, yung una is yung Healthier Worksite Initiative. Dinevelop siya ng Centers for Disease Control and Prevention yung Healthier Worksite Initiative for their own employees with the vision of making the CDC a workplace where healthy choices are easy choices and sharing the lesson learned with other federal agency. And yung Healthier Worksite Initiative work on a number of demonstration projects, policies, and environmental changes that affect the entire CDC workforce. The next one is yung the Guide to Community Preventive Services. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Community Preventive Services Task Force was established for them in order to identify the intervention that have been scientifically shown to improve their health, quality of life, and an increased lifespan. Kung makikita nyo sa book, meron silang provide na website and yung the community guide website na yun, nagpo-provide siya ng recommendations on offering programs, what type of activities tend to be most effective, the average cost of programs, and yung potential barriers to implementing the recommended programs. Next naman is yung HERO. It is a national non-profit membership-based organization organized to advance the health and well-being of the employees, families, and communities through workplace-based research, education, and policy. It is dedicated in order to identify and share best practices in the field of workplace health and well-being in order to improve the health and well-being of workers, their spouses, dependents, and retirees by sharing best practices, advocating for improvements in the field, and providing practical solutions for employees who share our commitment to supporting health and well-being for employees, families, and communities. Next naman is yung Guide to Developing a Workplace Injury and Illness Prevention Program with checklists for self-inspection. Itong pang-apat, in-implement siya ng California Occupational Safety and Health Administration. This online manual is intended to help employers offer their employees protection from injury and to reduce the damages that result from accidents and injuries. Next one is yung total worker health approach. The Work-Life Initiative, ini-start siya ng National Institute for Occupational Health and Safety in order to improve the overall worker health through better work-based programs, policies, practices, and benefits. And they support addressing worker health and well-being by taking into account the physical and organizational work environment while at the same time addressing the personal health related decisions and behaviors of individuals. Yung next naman is Employee Health Services Handbook. Yung handbook na sinasabi dito, it uses a question and answer format to address issues including providing physical fitness programs, administering employee assistance program, federal program resources, tapos yung mga list of employees, health resources available on the internet, examples, yung mga surveys, contracts, and forms. Next one is yung essential elements of effective workplace programs and policies for improving work health and well-being. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health developed this document which describes 20 key aspects of comprehensive workplace-based health promotion and health promotion protection program. Yung document is a framework that will be enhanced by links to resource materials intended to assist in the design and implementation of workplace programs and offer specific examples of best and promising practices. Next naman is yung Centers of Excellence to promote a healthier workforce. The National Institute of for Occupational Safety and Health Funds for centers of excellence that focus on research efforts in order to promote integration of worker and workplace health, safety, and well-being. Next naman is yung California Nutrition Education and Obesity Prevention Branch Worksite Program. Yung program, nag-offer siya ng Fit Business Kit. Meron siyang tools and resources for employers looking to improve workplace environments and culture to support healthy eating and physical activity among employees. They focus on increasing fruit and vegetable consumption and physical activity among low-income workers. Yung last naman is yung business response to AIDS tsaka or labor response to AIDS. This program draws on public and private partnerships, including collaboration between businesses, trade associations, and labor organizations in order to offer resources and technical assistance for developing comprehensive workplace and workforce for HIV or AIDS programs and policies. So, yun. Next na.
So, hello po. So, ito po yung nahanap naming local journal is yung Building a Culture of Workplace Wellness Perspective from Philippine Organizations. So, it was created on July 2018. So, based on this journal, yung they consider yung workplace as an important place para yung wellness dapat ay ma-apply dito sa workplace, sa setting na to. So, it involves intervention and programs na nag-improve sa physical and mental health ng employees. So, they use CREATE model, which is yung CREATE stands for Communication of Desired Values, role model of leaders, engagement of employees in culture building, alignment of system and structure to desired values, training and development and evaluation, and reinforcement of culture consistent behaviors. Para ma-examine natin yung workplace wellness strategies in the Philippine organization. So, they use as a methodology, they use two phases of focus group discussion, and they use exploratory qualitative study, and yun nga, may dalawang phases sila ng focus group discussion. So open-ended question is ginamit nila para ma-validate nila na yung presence ng ginamit nilang framework, which is the create model. Then second, they use practices. Then for analysis ng data, ang ginamit nila is thematic analysis. So they use non-random sampling dito sa kanilang research. Then para ma-choose nila yung mga participant, and some of them dun sa mga participant is nag-volunteer sila. Then so hinati nila yon. So in the first field sa ano nila, sa FGD nila, or yung group discussion nila is may 23 participants. And ito, nire-represent niya yung 15 institution, which includes yung mga ibang mga works. So then sa second field goal, sa discussion naman nila is yung 20 participant. So ito, nire-represent niya yung mga 13 organization, and as I remember, ito yung mga nagmamine yan, or sa kabila po yun. So, in the FGD, they discuss issues in workplace wellness, then inanalyze nito nila sa thematic analysis. Then, sa second naman, na yung focus group discussion nila is inintroduce nila yung framework, create framework. So, ayun po. Sa ano na po, discussion.
So, yung ginamit nga nila, sabi na kanina, yung create model. Kasi para ma-ensure nila yung well-being ng workplace. So, yung strategies na ginawa nila is ni-range nila muna from expensive and hanggang sa hindi na expensive. So, depending on available resources. Para ma-reduce yung cost ng companies na gumamit sila ng mga existing resources from the national government or public sites. So, maraming strategies na related sa physical health such as exercise, sports, competitions, awareness of illness and nutrition, and medical examination. Itong type of wellness kasi na to is initiative is best for companies and can be easy to implement. So, naka-include dito yung mga nare-reduce nila yung stress, maintaining work-life balance, fostering harmonious relationship between colleagues, and taking time to talk or consult with employees. So, meron din dito na holistic view of goodness may be adopted. So, sa lahat ng mga participants na yon is ni-refer nila yung company na yon ng effort as total goodness. So, sa researchers have found that creating a culture of wellness is not just about implementing health-related programs, activities, and HR. So, however, yung pag-engage and pag-train sa mga leaders para maging isa silang role models and supporters. So, maraming Filipino organization, gumamit sila ng groups na diagnose, plan, nag-implement sila ng activities. So, ayun. According to Hofstede 2003, the use of groups is understandable given the collectivist culture of Filipinos. So, these cultures, individuals are independent with kin, community, and society. So, all of participants, nireport nila yung company nila na wellness and health, in-include nila yung spiritually. So, kasama nandito yung mga retreats and prayer rooms were identified as strategies to promote wellness. Next.
So, yung international journal na nakita namin is Workplace Health Promotion Policy Recommendations that encourage employers to support health improvement programs for their workers. So, sa journal na to, diniscuss, nag-observe yung researchers and nag-analyze sila ng health promotion programs in the workplace sa US. So, sa intro nila, naka-state doon na yung problem na nakita nila is masyadong focused ang nation sa pag-treat ng chronic illnesses. Dahil yung focus nila is chronic diseases, mas malaki yung budget or mas malaki yung budget na napupunta sa pag-treat nun. 16% ng GDP nila yung napupunta dun because yun nga, dahil nga chronic illnesses yung focus nila na treatment, which strains their healthcare system sources and in general yung society. So, ang goal ng research na ito is to give recommendations para ma-encourage yung employers na mag-create ng programs to support the health of their workers. During the research, na-observe nila na marami pa ring companies and organizations ang hindi nag-a-adopt ng workplace health promotion. Although some have already come to realize yung benefits, there are reasons kung bakit yung iba hindi pa rin. Which are, maraming employers ang unaware of workplace programs. Hindi sila convinced na yung programs are powerful enough to improve health and achieve a positive financial return on investment. Some companies, hindi rin nila alam kung anong program elements are most effective or how to implement programs on their own, and some companies feel that the workers' health is not a core function of the business. Ang health promotion programs in the workplace ay initiated and sponsored by the company or organization. Sinasabi nilang ideal yung workplace for the programs dahil usually involved dito yung family, relatives, local communities, and people who live in proximity. Some reasons pa are that the company will be able to provide employees with support from the organization or community if ever they need to change an unhealthy behavior. And employers tend to have long relationships with the workers, meaning the workers can attain more benefits from the program. To be able to provide the best and promising practices sa workplace health promotion, kailangan sustainable siya and has these 6 elements: organizational commitment, incentives for employees to participate, effective screening and triage, state of the state of the art theory and evidence-based interventions, if effective implementation and ongoing program evaluation. Sinabi din nila na these best practices often involved interconnected programs and policies na sinusuportahan yung health ng workers. So, next po.
So, meron ding recommendation for broadening the implementation of workplace health promotion programs. The partnership for expanding this health promotion program was divided into 3 areas daw, which is yung una, communication and dissemination activities. Yung pangalawa is yung the role of government and the financial. Ay, wait lang. Ulit lang. So, meron ding recommendation for broadening the implementation of workplace health promotion programs. The partnership for expanding this health promotion program was divided into 3 areas, which is communication and dissemination activities, the role of government, and yung last is yung the role of financial incentives. So for overall conclusion, more companies will have a strong impact on improving the health and well-being of Americans by implementing workplace health promotion programs. And it can be done in many ways by taking employer-sponsored health promotion to public notice. First of all, it needs to have clear alignment goals and incentives to diverse players in the health reform landscape, including employers, providers, health plans, pharmaceutical companies, health device manufacturers, public entities, communities, and government. And in essence, all of these stakeholders aim to improve public health and prevent disease and do this in the cost-effective manner. They stated that most of the working age adults spend a significant portion for their time at work. So the workplace provides an excellent atmosphere for raising awareness of health and lifestyle problems, providing encouragement and support for health change, and developing workplace environments in which it is easy and promoted by the company to adopt healthy behaviors. So, in order to achieve this, the authors propose passing legislation prompting employers to spend more on health promotion services in the workplace. It is recommended that the tax incentives be provided to employers developing or enhancing systems in the workplace. In terms of their priorities naman, employers and proponent of health promotion programs are perfectly aligned in terms of their goals, which is keeping people healthy and containing ballooning healthcare costs, and employers recognize that sickness care, not prevention, and health enhancement are mainly absorbed by their healthcare spending, and that spending is important. So yun lang.
So, natapos na namin yung presentation namin about sa topic namin and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask